Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is AJ. I'm a fashion design YouTuber. In this channel, I share everything fashion, design, and style made easy and fun for you. So do well to hit that subscribe button and also click the notification bell so that when next I upload a new video, you'll be the first to see it. And to my returning subscribers, I'm saying a very, very welcome to you and thank you for tuning in. Today we have a very interesting focus before us. I'll be breaking down complex sewing terms in the simplest way possible. So whether you're a beginner or you're just brushing up, this video is certainly for you. So stay tuned. Now, let's be honest, sewing can be very amazing, but sometimes the technical terms can just be so difficult to understand or may even sound like foreign language. But today I'm got you covered. I'm going to be breaking down the complex sewing terms in the simplest way possible. These are words you must have heard in the course of your fashion design career. You must have heard these words. You may have understanding of some, or you may have some understanding to an extent. Today I'm going to be making these terms very easy and very fun for you. So the first one I'll be talking about today is that. This one, you've heard it a lot. That is a little fold sewn into your fabric, usually around the waist, the bust, or the hip area to give your outfit form and shape. You must have seen it in your fabric, just that little fold that is sewn, maybe around the bust area. If it's done around the bust area, it's called the bust that. If it's done, sometimes it's also done around the waist and around the hips. It's just meant to give your clothes shape and also to help the outfit hug your body better. If there is no that on an outfit, the outfit is flat, except it's a stretchy fabric. But if you put that on an outfit, it just makes your outfit have shape and it helps to hug your body better. That's the essence of that. So I hope you understand what that is now. The next one I'm talking about is Grainline. You must have heard of this during your fashion design class or training. Grainline refers to the direction of your thread in your fabric. This one has everything to do with how your outfit is going to turn out. If you look at a fabric, I want you to do that right now. Just pick up a fabric. If you don't know what Grainline is, just pick up a fabric and look at how the thread is. Look at the direction of your thread. So you will notice that there are some lines. There are some lines in your fabric. So those are like the I call it okay for like woven fabrics. I think for woven fabrics it will be very, very visible. But grain line is on every outfit. You can pick up crepe, any fabric you have around you, just check it. The green line is the direction of your thread in your fabric. Give you an example. A t-shirt that stretches sideways but doesn't stretch up and down. So it's stiff. If you drag it down, it's stiff. But if you drag it sideways, it stretches. That has to do with the grain line. It shows that the direction of the thread going up and down is firm and the direction of the thread going sideways stretches. In knowing what grain line is, you have to know what the direction of thread is also called. So when the direction of the thread in your fabric is going sideways, it's called crosswise grain. And when the direction of your thread is going up and down, it's called lengthwise grain. So anytime you want to cut your fabric, the first thing you need to do is to pay attention to the grain line. You paying attention to the grain line is going to determine whether your outfit will fit well or if it's just going to look sharp. Sorry. So it's very important to pay attention to your grain line. If you haven't been doing that, this video is a pointer that you need to start. Whenever you want to cut your outfits, pay attention to the grain line. It's very important. That may just be the game changer for the outfit you are making. You never can tell. So let's go to the third one. The third one I'll be talking about is stay stitch. Stay stitch. From the word stay stitch, let's just say a stitch that stays or a stitch that is meant to stay. I don't know if that's making sense, but I'm going to further expatiate. So stay stitch is a stitch that is done on an on a fabric. Usually the neckline, the armhole line. It's always done mostly around the neckline or around the curves, just to ensure that it holds the fabric, like the fabric stays. Most times it's done on stretchy fabrics, but not every time. But most times it's done on stretchy fabric. And that's why I want to use stretchy fabric as the point of reference for this, to explain this. You know, when a fabric stretches or overstretches and you want to line it, so you have to make sure that you use stay stitch around the cuff, around the curvy parts. And even aside stretchy fabrics, when you cut a fabric diagonally, you know, when you're cutting your neckline, you actually cut diagonally. So when you cut diagonally, that you're going, like you're going against the grain. So from for some fabrics, they tend to stretch when you're cutting diagonally. So when you're faced with fabric like that, you have to ensure that you use stay stitch for the curved areas or for the neck, just to make sure that your measurements on your fabric remain intact. I hope that makes sense. The fourth one I'll be talking about is notches. Prior to some time ago, I used to have a different understanding of what notch is. And when I got enlightened, I was really wowed. Like, I do know that is actually what notch is. So I just had my own understanding. Notches are tiny cuts or marks made on fabrics. Mostly it's done on pattern paper, from your pattern paper to your fabric. So the essence of it is just to know where each part is, to indicate where your hip line is, to indicate where your dart is going to be. So you know, when you're cutting, when after making a pattern and you want to indicate where your dart is, so that tiny mark you make on your fabric, that is called a notch. Or if you want to indicate where your post dart is going to be, or where your hip is going to be, or your waist, that tiny mark you make from the pattern paper to your fabric, that's what a notch is. So I hope you understand, hope you're following. The fifth one I'll be talking about is seam allowance. I know you must have heard this word, especially when you're learning basic sewing or basic fashion design. You must have heard of seam allowance. So seam allowance is the space between your stitch and the edge of the fabric. The space between your stitch and the edge of the fabric. I'm going to give this very popular reference. You know, when you're making an outfit for a customer, for a client, and a client tells you, please add enough allowance. Add the and the client tells you to add enough allowance. So that allowance they're talking about in fashion design term is seam allowance. So I hope it comes now. That's allowance they're asking you to keep to live. I mean, in fashion design term, it's seam allowance. It's the space between your stitch and the edge of the fabric. I hope you understand. Now to the bonus points. I hope you stayed up to this point. You stayed up to this point. So this one is very, I don't know what to say. What is it's a very interesting one. It's interesting because this particular term is also used in agriculture. And I want to believe that every one of us here watching this video, we are fashion designers or we are fashion enthusiasts. Or for the ones that also have agricultural background. I'm not talking about agriculture here. And this sewing term is called basting. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it, but I think it should be basting. Basting or fasting. Uh, I'm going to I'm going to I'm going to check that up. Why used to call it basting all along? Basting is that stitch you make on your fabric to hold your fabric in place. It is that temporary stitch. Basting is temporary. That temporary stitch you make on your fabric to hold the pieces in place. Let me give you a very familiar example. Okay, when you're making gathers, if you don't know how to make gathers, there is a there is a video in my channel on how 2 ways to make gathers on your fabric. So I'm going to leave the link up here, or up here, somewhere here. I'm going to leave the link so you go and watch it. Maybe through that you can even understand what I mean by basting. When you're making gathers, there is with your sewing machine or with your hand needle. Some people make gathers with their hand sewing. So when you're making gathers, that initial stitch you make to hold everything together so that when you're sewing, the gathers are going to form nicely and uniformly. That stitch is called basting stitch. And most times it's removed after you've made your main stitch. You remove it because it's not necessary. That's what basting is. Basting is that temporary stitch you make on your fabric to hold the pieces together. Hope you understand. And here you have it. Technical or complex sewing terms made easy and simple for you. Let me know if you like a part 2 of this video. And I hope this video has helped to make things clearer, and it has also increased your confidence level in fashion design sewing terms. Let me know if you like a part 2, and let me know if you have any sewing terms you'd like me to explain in the comment section. So drop those sewing terms you want me to explain, and in future video I'm going to explain them better. Thank you guys. You've come to the end of today's video. If you're just in this channel for the first time, do well to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so that when next I upload a new video, you'll be the first to see it. And to my returning subscribers, thank you once again for coming to the channel. And until next time, stay creative, stay happy, stay blessed. Bye.